2, and 1. Excellent. All right, scholars, it's time for reading comp.
It's time for reading comp.
Track your projector spots, step 4. All right, who's there? Jared's there. Zachary's in a perfect star. Jaden's in a perfect star. Joseph. Wonderful. All right, scholars, here we are for a very exciting lesson for reading comp. We started our lesson yesterday, but we need to be at the carpet just to refresh our memories and review. So who can read our syllabus for reading comp today? It's a good one. We've got some juicy words in there. Caitlin, loud and proud.
Identify and define the main idea
In
an
big word.
informational text.
Very good. And who knows what genre informational texts are? Ooh, think back a couple weeks back. What genre has information in it that is true that we can learn from? Oh, I gotta do my first six for this one. Johnny. Johnny, what genre is an informational text? Nonfiction. Super smart, Johnny.
Super smart, Johnny.
All right, scholars, we have been working on main idea for quite a while now, so I think we're pros at this. But in the University of Tennessee, we kick it up a notch.
Bam!
And we're always checking up, and we're seeing if you've remembered what we taught. So right now, you're actually, when I say go, you're going to turn and talk to the person next to you and tell them what is the main idea and see if they get our perfect answer that we've been working on. Go.
The main idea. Mostly about. What's the story mostly about?
Hurry, and we're back in star in 3, 2, and 1. All right. Who would like to share out what their partner said? Let me know what your partner said. Alexia.
Me and Maria were partners, and she said the main idea is mostly about.
Can you use that in a complete sentence, Lex?
She didn't say in a complete sentence.
Think in your brain. Can you use it in a complete sentence? Okay, go ahead.
So the main idea of the story is mostly about
What the story is.
happening.
You had it? You had it. Keep going. What the story is. Okay, I think to refresh our memories, we need to do our secret hand motion. So, on the count of 3, let's all do it together. 1, 2, 3. Main idea, mostly about. Again, main idea, mostly about. Now, when we say it with our hand motion, we just say mostly about, but when we use it in a complete sentence, we say what the story is mostly about. The main idea, if you check my board,
At your board.
is what the story is mostly about. When we are reading a story, after we're done with it, we think, what was that story about? Now, we know that sometimes in a little paragraph, actually find the main idea where? Where, Cole?
In the text.
Yeah, where in the text? What sentence? Sometimes can you find
You
it?
can find it you can find it at the beginning of the sentence, or you can find it at the end of the sentence, or maybe in the middle of the sentence.
Exactly. Sometimes it can be hidden anywhere, but sometimes we can look to the first sentence, and sometimes it's the first sentence, but sometimes it's hidden in there. Sometimes when we have a really long passage, like the one we worked with yesterday, the main idea may not be in there. We have to read the whole story and then think in our brains and ask ourselves, what was that story about? Because the main idea may not be a sentence in that story. So, now that we've talked about main idea, we want to refresh our memories about supporting details. Ooh. Who can tell me what supporting details are? Allison.
Tell us more about the main idea.
It tells us more about the main idea. So if we have a main idea sentence in a paragraph, all the other sentences are supporting details that tell us more about that main idea. Excellent. Super smart scholars.
Super smart scholars.
All right. Now usually, how many supporting details do we need when we're looking for supporting details in writing? Oh, Mrs. Cohen, let's see if they remember. Writing.
Hope they do. Hope they can make this connection.
William, loud and proud.
3.
Super smart, William.
Super smart, William.
Absolutely. In writing, we have that graphic organizer, and we have our topic sentence, our 3 supporting details, and our conclusion sentence. Excellent. So what we are going to do today is we are going to finish our snowman, and behind here, I have an example of Mr. Snowman. Can somebody read the title of the informational text or the piece of nonfiction we read yesterday? What was the title of that passage? Jaden?
Getting ready for winter.
Good, getting ready for winter. So yesterday we took our pieces of our snowman and we wrote in the snowman's hat what the main idea of the passage was. Today we're going to go back and you are going to take with a pencil, who can read me, let's go through our steps. Who can read me step 1 for today? What are we going to do? Step 1. Jared?
Step 1 is reread the passage.
Good, reread the passage. And you have your passages right in the literature part of your binder. So when you go back to your seats, you're going to take out your passage and reread because it helps us remember what we read yesterday. Before I go to step 2, I need somebody to tell me why we're learning main idea. Why are we learning main idea? Why are we learning this in reading comm? Why is it so important? Mackenzie.
The reason why we're learning this in reading comm is because it can help us. It can help us during writing, and it could help us during while we're reading. Because if we don't know how to read, we won't be able to do writing. We won't be able to do reading comprehension or small group reading.
Excellent. It helps us do all those things. It helps us understand a story. It helps us understand what we're reading. Excellent. So that's why it's so super important. As we get to these harder texts that are harder to understand, we need to know what the main idea is of all these super hard texts. So who can read now step 2 after we've reread the passage and we thought about the main idea that goes in our snowman's hat? Cole?
Underline 3 supporting details with a pencil.
Good. So you're going to go back into your passage and find 3 supporting details. And we know those are sentences that tell us more about the main idea. So you're going to go back into the text and underline 3 different supporting details. Who can read me step 3? Over from today. Jonathan.
Step 3 is write supporting details into the body of your snowman.
Excellent. So then, once you've underlined them in the text, you're then going to go back and fill in your snowman's body. So supporting detail number 1 goes in the smallest snowman's ball. Supporting detail number 2 goes in the medium-sized one, and detail number 3 goes in the bottom of the snowman's body. Once you are done with that, we're going to set the timer for 15 minutes. So make sure if your work is something you're going to be proud of, because we are going to display these in the classroom, and Miss Donahue is going to grade these. So this is a graded assessment. So we want to do our best work, but we want to do our best work all the time. So we're going to go back, check our work, and after we're done with that, it's the best part. Who can tell me? Maria Isabel has been sitting in such a perfect star this whole time. She's moving on up.
Moving on up.
Maria Isabel, what is step 4?
Step 4 is glue snowman together and decorate it.
And decorate. You are allowed to decorate your snowman as long as you color lightly. I need to be able to read what you wrote, but if you color lightly over it and you want to decorate it, that's absolutely fine. And I love the silent excitement from Zachary because he must like coloring a lot. Excellent. And then after that, last but not least, what are we going to do? Brianna?
Share.
We're going to share our beautiful snowman. And after that, Mrs. Cohen and I are probably going to put them up in our windows and it'll be all beautiful and wintry in here. All right. When I call your name, Miss Donahue actually already cut out your snowman for you. So, and I have your names on them. So when I call your name, you're silently going to go back to your seat and complete our steps. The first one being taking out your passage and rereading. What is step number 1? What's step number 1, Maya?
Step number 1 is we read the passage.
Excellent, excellent. All right. I'm only going to call scholars who are sitting in star ready to go. All right, Miss Katie, come on up. Zachary? Scholars, I will put some peaceful music on to remind you that this is a silent time. Enrique? Maria Isabel? Oh,